I have a lot of questions. I actually wrote them down.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Alright, just leaving Douglas Street this morning. Met my buddy over there that's a realtor. He wanted my opinion on the property, so went and spoke to him about that a little bit. I think it's a pretty good property for Portland. I'm not a buyer on it, but I think it could be a potential good flip, or someone that wants to live there could remodel it as they go. I think that might actually be the buyer on that. Tough with inventory right now in Portland, so I think it's gonna go. The thing you want to do when you go into any flip house is always look at the size of the joists, and always look and see how straight the floor is. If you go down in the basement, I would put a tape measure on the joists and see how thick they are. On average, you want them to be at least 8 inches. Then from there, you can decide, you know, if there's a way to actually make it more sturdy. See if there's any waves in the floor, because that's really going to be a good factor on the sale price of the home, is on how straight the actual building is. We're gonna go check out another property right now in Westbrook. We'll see what that one looks like. So we got a busy rainy morning today in Maine, so good day to drive around and look at properties.
So I've sort of explained my process. What is your process? How do you go about it? And, like, as far as buying, like I've watched some of your videos,
yeah,
and they were really helpful. What is your thought process when you go into like a flip?
Yeah, so actually I looked at a couple today. So I mean, really depends. You have to, I go in, first of all, you have to know immediately what you think the house will sell for fixed up, you know, and that can be tough if you don't really know the market. So I always make sure I'm on top of the market, really having a good idea what the pricing is.
Yeah.
Then from there, I mean, you just got to back out what you think you'd have to put into it. Then I might be able to demo all this up here. Get 3 bedrooms.
And make 3 bedrooms out of it?
They got 2 big bedrooms. They got a lot of wasted space here.
Right.
In here.
Yeah.
Put a bedroom here, put a bedroom there, a bedroom there.
Did you have to extend out to keep the existing walls?
I keep it right where it is. I bring the value up quite a bit if I get 3 bedrooms.
With the 3 bed? Oh yeah, absolutely.
What do you think about that?
Another 20 grand.
Just like that. See how these are a little bit thicker? These are 2 by 6s, yeah. A little bit better.
Yeah.
And they really should be 2 by 8s or 2 by 10s, but we're getting closer as we get going. Just needs one beam right down the whole middle is what it needs.
Carrying beam right there?
Right down the whole middle, probably straighten it out.
Yeah.
Well, because it's too long of a span for the 2 by 6s, so you can see the kind of bone in the middle. Yeah, it looks like this is actually a block foundation too, huh? So it was just out of cinder block. You can kind of see a little bit. So usually those leak. Where's that door go?
Wherever you want it to.
Bought a home in South Portland, and I got it for cheap. I was looking at it and it was like, it looked shitty on the outside, but I saw some potential. And I got in and it was kind of like my first rehab, I guess you could say. Because I got inside and it had that like old like plank paneling on the inside. I was like, you know what, I'll take this off and just put up some drywall and look great.
Yeah.
So I take that off and there's that cardboard behind it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit, okay. So I start ripping that off. Well, that just falls apart in your hands and there's nails all over it. So I pull out all the nails. Then there's no insulation in the whole house. So it became like this huge project. I have a lot of questions. I actually wrote them down.
Yeah, right, yeah. Okay.
What should I do? Should I go in? Should I present like my meter portfolio that I have, my earnings in like a good way, or should I just call them?
I would call them, set up a meeting, tell them you're interested, and they might want to have you have like some sort of a property in mind. But the thing is, like they move so quickly, you kind of have to have that relationship set up ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I would just meet with them and sit down with them, tell them what you want to do, tell them what you've done. I mean, they're really going to be come down to is they want to be able to trust in you, and they're more or less want to make sure the numbers work on the project. So they probably can't give you too much info without knowing the actual project.
Right. And I'm looking for a home in the Cumberland area. I'm going to work with my uncle to rehab it and flip it, and then my hope was he's a real estate agent. I was going to list it with him, and then we form a relationship like that.
Sure.
What do you think of that?
I think that's a good way of doing it, for sure.
Okay.
Anyone you can team up with that has a little bit of experience is always going to be good to start out with.
Yeah.
Yep.
Do you have any place that like? I wouldn't go towards Lewiston, but I was thinking even like New Gloucester. Do you have? I know you invest a lot in the Cumberland, Falmouth, Yarmouth area, right?
Yeah, I would look for a little bit less price. I would go to like Buxton, Hollis, and then New Gloucester, Gray is good.
Standish.
Standish is good, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Anything a little bit on the outskirts, but still like in Cumberland County.
Yeah.
You really can't lose on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Who should I network with? Should I meet title companies in the area? Do I need to like look at a place before I go to them and start talking to them, or should I just try and build those relationships right off the bat?
I would reach out to. Realtors is gonna be your best source.
Realtors,
yeah, because
okay.
they might be able to get you something before it hit the market.
Yeah.
I went and looked at 2 today that aren't on the market yet.
Yeah.
So, they're going to be your best source. So, I would just reach out to any of them, particularly the ones that usually have the deals. Okay. And just say, hey, I want to get more information on this. This one doesn't work out. Anything in the future that you have, I'd love to know about it possibly before it hits the market. I'm a good buyer. I got financing lined up. Just kind of sell yourself and say,
okay.
If anything you can do to, send me something, before it hits the market, I'd really appreciate it. And just kind of stay in touch with that person.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, great.